Hey everybody, Jake and Gino here from jakeandgino.com with another Time for Action Tuesday. You may have heard the old saying, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together.
Guys, there's nothing like a great partnership. I've been in partnership with my brother for 20 years, and I've been in partnership with Jake for the last 3. Partnership brings a great dynamic. Doing it alone is great. You have this big ego saying, I'm going to do it all by myself. But there's only a certain limit as to how far you can go, especially now in the internet age. You want to start partnering up and doing joint ventures with others, but specifically with partners. We have a specific dynamic. He's got a great skill set. I have a certain skill set. We bring both of those to the table. We can really explode it.
That's absolutely right. There's synergistic effects to my skill set and to Gino's. Basically, I was able to be the guy on the ground in Tennessee, working with the brokers, putting the deals together. Gino brought all that background, all that knowledge and experience to the table. And together, we've really created a great investment company. And that was the difference because he had his little qualities and I had mine. And that was the difference maker for us.
And guys, the funny thing is once you start rolling with this business, it's just not about acquiring these assets. Once you acquire these assets, you have to run them. He's running the management from day to day. He'll call me up with problems and issues. I'll give you one example. He called me up one day. He found out that a maintenance man was ripping him off. It wasn't for a lot of money. He was ready to strangle the guy. So I basically said to him, what happened to the guy? He said he went away. He ran away. He just slinked away. Jake wanted to go after the guy. Obviously, he was so...
I wasn't gonna beat him. I would not physically go after anybody.
But he wanted to go after him the lawyer route. So I've had a ton of experience with this. I've been burned a lot. We've all been burned. I said to him, let's look at this logically. So he's got somebody to bounce his frustrations and his anger and his emotions off of. I'm 2,000 miles away. I can look at this clearly and objectively with no emotion in it. He couldn't do that. If he was by himself, he probably would have done something wrong. He looked at me. He said, what am I supposed to do here? So I gave him my thoughts. I said, let's wait a couple hours. Let's let things cool down. So it's just somebody to springboard your ideas off of also. And more people in the crowd, the more creative you can become. So the moral of that story was what he ended up doing was he just ended up letting it go, letting it, what it was, a couple $100, whatever it was.
It's just silly.
It's just the ego, but it's just the ego gets involved and you want to go after the guy. And I said to him, what are we going to gain? We're not going to gain anything. We're going to get legal fees. All that money's going to go to the lawyer anyway.
That's who wins, not us.
He did us a favor. He slinked away and he left. So he wasn't part of the team. So the moral of the story is that partnerships are really a vital way to increase your wealth and increase your business.
Yeah, sometimes it's worth taking a step back, calling your partners up, going over everything, being objective about it, and just coming together and finding the best solution. And that's what we did.
But let me give you one really important tip. Make sure you have the same goals and the same ideas. Because if I'm an old guy and all I want is nice, steady income, but Jake wants to create wealth, it's not going to work. Another example, I'm a fix and flipper. I like to get into a house, fix it, flip it, boom, I'm out of there in 24 days. But Jake's the kind of guy like, no, hold on a second. I want to buy multis. I want to create that cash flow. This partnership's not going to work. So you guys have to have the same goals, same ideals. You have to work together.
Yeah, because from day one, our objectives, we wanted to create wealth and we wanted to be buy and hold investors. And you know what? 4 or 5 years later, whatever it is to this point, same goals, same objectives, and now we just execute. So.
And one more thing, make sure you get everything in writing. We've got operating agreements for every one of our LLCs. It's really important to have everything in writing so when something does happen, God forbid, something happens to Jake where his wife has to take over, there's certain stipulations in our operating agreement that'll take care of that kind of stuff. Something happens to me. So you really want to have everything in writing. You want to avoid those issues. But at the same time, partnerships are awesome.
And talk to your legal advisors. Look into like buy and sell agreements and things like that, and you guys will be just fine.
So guys, don't be afraid of going out and looking for partners. Partners are a great way to explode your wealth, to increase your business, and just to become more successful in life.
See you next week on our next TFAT.
See you there, guys.